guys, welcome back to the vlog. We're about to put a new transmission in my truck. Yes, the truck that we just put a blower in 2 days ago. This one. Because we basically pulled it out of the shop, didn't even get to test drive it, and the transmission had 5 reverses. I'm having transmission issues for a hot minute, and now all we've got is reverse. What's the plan, Zach?
We're gonna stop by Summit, get a trans, we'll put it in Friday when we get there.
We were backing out of the shop to put it on the trailer to have Jake drive it to Pennsylvania for our event this weekend. Like, right now he's leaving. 24 hours into having a blower on my truck. Well, Jake, you're a little behind schedule now, huh?
Just 1 to 12 hours behind schedule at this moment.
So right now it is Friday night and our event is tomorrow. So, as you guys saw in that last video, basically we were loading the truck up to leave to come to this event and had to run to Summit really quick, grab a transmission, get Jake on the road, bring everything here, and we're gonna be installing this thing tonight. So fingers crossed, if everything goes well, tomorrow, well, maybe tonight is gonna be my first actual drive in this thing, testing out the new blower, but tomorrow will be the actual debut of it, hopefully, as long as everything goes okay. I guess we're gonna see. You never really know what could happen when we're out here with not as many tools as we normally have and a lot less resources, so we're gonna hope for the best.
That sounds much better now. Much more appropriate. Damn, Lacey!
It has forward now. And that's third gear maybe? I mean, third gear is really all I need, so. Zach. Zach scratched my d.
You know that, right?
This thing was mint condition, one owner before that.
You got it neutral?
Yeah.
Or what?
Freaking taillight fell out?
You don't happen to have like a tilt back? Up?
This looks a little sketchy, I'm not gonna lie. Do we need blocks under those front tires?
The winch is holding the front of it.
Oh, okay.
Can we count how many holes transmission fluid's pouring out on this thing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Where do we want to start?
Full dry shift?
Yep, I pulled on it. It's good. 18, I think, will take the trans block off because that's gonna be easiest.
Oh, the problem is, drain plug's too long.
Drain plug's too long. It's pushing up against the spool valve. Won't let it shift. Well, our big issue next is going to be bell housing bolts, which are the bolts that connect it to the engine block, because we have all the torque converter bolts out that connect it to the flywheel. So now we need to focus on bell housing bolts. So what our problem is right now, we're using a 1/2-inch drive ratchet, so it's a 1/2 inch from here to here. The socket's the same, but it doesn't fit up here in the small little area we're trying to work in.
So if we could mix him and Zach together, because Zach does no explaining and he does all the explaining, we'd be really cooking.
So this is what we consider a 3/8 drive.
Goddamn bolt out, Lacey. What are you doing?
So we need the right size.
what we have here is not what it's supposed to look like.
This is a relief cut we put in.
It releases the pressure, it gets hot, you know, and lets steam.
So then it lets the oil pool up in here, which helps cool it on the outside on these fins.
There's probably no oil in that thing.
There was oil in it.
That would explain the oil thing.
That's a problem.
Well, after the Zacks lifted the new transmission in, Lacey climbed back underneath here and we tightened transmission mount, which is a rubber mount, so that way the back of the tail shaft can wiggle around a little bit. But now she's tightening the cross member up, which ties the two frame rails to hold the back of the transmission in place. Kind of important. So she's getting those tight now. Then what?
We should be pretty close. Drive shaft back in, fluid in.
Fluid, yeah.
And then
Dipstick. I'm putting torque converter bolts in while she's working on that stuff because torque converter spacing, super important. So you don't want your torque converter to pull out too far, but you don't want it to be too shoved into your front pump, tear the transmission up like that. So I'm doing that, she's doing that. I think we'll get it done before dark.
hopefully. And then once we fire it up, Zach's gonna drive it around a little bit, Biddle's gonna tune it, and then maybe I'll do like at least a stationary burnout. It gets really, really dark here at the grounds when it does get dark, so.
If anything, right away in the morning.
Alright guys, so when you put these big and uglies on an LS, you actually have to block off these two outer butterflies because it draws too much air for the motor. So that's what we're doing. Take it all apart, put these in, and put it all back together. We had to overnight those, and then I put them in my carry-on and brought them up here. We have that? This strand to see if it works, and then I'm gonna call Biddle and have him put a tune in this thing.
All right, we got the transmission in, truck lowered down. We're about to start it up and see what it does. I haven't even been in this thing since the blower's been in it. I haven't got to drive it, nothing. All right guys, quick intermission. I have to remind you of the giveaway we have going on. We're giving away this entire 1500 horsepower truck, and there's only 1 week left in the giveaway, maybe less depending on when you're watching this. It ends September 6th at midnight Central Time. Every $1 you spend on our merch site gets you entered. So if you want a chance to own this one-of-a-kind Cummins powered King Ranch Ford, head to lbmotorsportsbrand.com and get your entries in. Now enjoy the rest of the video from Burnout Wars. Does have all the gears.
It's running a little fat, so I'm about to call Biddle in the morning and have him take some fuel out of it idle. Little fat. Yo, that's a problem for in the morning because I'm not gonna bother him tonight. So we'll finish this thing tomorrow.
Well, doesn't look like I'm gonna get any test runs when there's no people around, which is pretty par for the course. So who knows what's gonna happen tomorrow, but Biddle's gonna tune it tomorrow around 11, and hopefully everything's running right. And probably my first time behind the wheel is gonna be in the show. We'll see, I'm nervous. All right, what's going on, Zach?
Well, we tried to start Lacey's truck this morning and it won't start. So, come to find out, we think the crank sensor went bad, so we're gonna steal mine, put it on hers, and if it runs, then I'll send Brian to the auto parts store, get a new one, and we'll put it on there.
What a good fiance.
You know, it's the least I can do, babe.
We're back. It's the day of the show. It is 11:30, which is supposed to be our driver meeting time. Everyone's gathering over there. And my truck won't start, so this is what we're doing. Do you think it's gonna work, Zach? Yeah. You think it's gonna work?
So we're gonna steal the old trusty dusty out of the 58, because we know this one works. We'll put it in yours, and if it works, then you can do Burnout.
So then you're gonna go get another one, or we're gonna swap that one?
No, we're probably just gonna get another one because it'll be too damn hot to swap them. All right, so we spent like an hour trying to start this thing, and we found out the bolt that holds the crank sensor in had backed out, the crank sensor's turned. So maybe the crank sensor's bad, so we're gonna swap mine in and see if that fixes it. Oh yeah, I lied, I'm a dumbass. It's a cam sensor, not the crank sensor.
So for anyone that wants to talk shit about my wrap on my butterflies, okay? It didn't blow off, didn't melt off. They had to take it off last night to switch up the blower
why you
things.
had to take it off. Because the tolerances are too tight in here
Right.
to pull this out with a wrap on. So all you dumbasses who are like, we just take them off and wrap them.
This is
you can't.
true. Oh.
All right, so it turns out it's not the cam angle sensor. Now to find out what the real problem is.
What do you think, Jake?
How do you feel about 4 cylinders? We think something about map sensor.
Oh no.
I don't get why your GPS has anything to do with why the motor runs wrong, but we've got 2 smart guys trying to figure it out, so we got faith.
2 smart guys?
2 smart guys. Zach and some other guy on the phone.
Biddle. They look smart with that computer for sure.
So you want the bad news or the bad news? The first bad news is no drone pilots.
Wait, what? So he can't fly
The fire
at
guy
all?
said land it or we're kicking you out.
You're kidding.
Yeah.
Why did Pat not tell us that?
The other bad news is that somebody with your truck or the wiring magically went bad.
I feel like someone flipped something.
So
I really
you're
do.
riding with me.
I will be sick after I ride with you.
You'll be fine.
That sucks.
Yeah, he said land it or he's kicking him out. He said he already has FFA clearance because there's not an event here. He said the only other thing he can do is go off site because they can't tell you that you can't.
They don't own the airspace. They can stop me from landing and launching from here, but
If he
I would
goes
literally
off
have to
site.
go off site and then fly over here, and then there's nothing they can do about it.
It's not really hard to do though. Like that's.
It is because you're.
I would have to call you and say,
Yes.
head this way.
Oh yeah, because you don't know when stuff is
I'm
happening.
way off property, and again, it's just.
No, they told land his drone or they're kicking him out. Why? Because
Is that something we need to verify all the time? I
I guess so. Because I told Pat he was coming.
Right. That sucks. No badass drone footage this time, guys.
And no badass
sad.
Lacey with a blower truck either.
That's 2 double negatives. We'll get lots of driver interviews today. I'm sad. Both of those things made me sad. So I'm pretty bummed I'm not gonna be driving, but we've got a lot of other cars here ready to rip. Zach's first, so let's get it. That was crazy. I was just about to say, I love blower motors, but I have a special place in my heart for some diesel burnouts. That was sick. The noise though, it low-key sounded like a drive shaft was gonna fly out of that thing. I was kind of terrified, but it was worth the fear for sure. I don't know what happened, but we're dragging off the track here. That was the redemption of that Apache, because if you guys remember what happened last time, there was a pretty dangerous wall hit. So didn't hit any walls this time, lots of smoke, it's pretty good. So if you guys remember this truck, they actually won the pro class and the bro class at our last event in Atlantic City. So let's see what we've got today. What did you think? Was that a pretty good run? That was freaking crazy. He tipped in, did his thing, tipped back out, tipped back in. That was insane. Honestly, he's gotta be first now, right? Is he first now?
It's close. It's a very close call right now.
That was some skill.
It was sick. It was sick.
I definitely think these four out here are super deserving. Their runs were amazing.
We're gonna do this old school style, I'll just yell at you. Listen, you guys did a hell of a good time. This was actually super hard to judge. We've got a little bit different thing here because it was so good. We're gonna start with third. We got a tie for third here. Both y'all absolutely tore it down. And hell, you went back to back too, which made it even tougher. But we're gonna have to split third place with you guys. Okay. Because you did a sick job. Yep. Killed it. So what do we do? Do we just call out first or call it second? Call first. All right. Yeah. Who did it? Who done it? The old Napa rig. Yeah. Let's go! Yeah! Let's go! Woo! Hold that trophy, buddy. Mr. Craig, you have second place here. Very good job, gentlemen. You guys all killed it.
This was a pretty badass show. I had a ton of fun, even though I wasn't one of the ones driving, and I think it was pretty successful. Pennsylvania showed up, showed out. We had a good time. And if you guys like what you see and you want to come to a Burnout Wars event in person, our next one is September 7th in Jay, Oklahoma at Lifted Truck Nationals. That one is going to be insane. I just know it. We've got a ton of signups already. So if you want to be a driver, make sure to sign up at burnoutwars.com. We'll see you guys there.